Good evening. Tonight we're talking with Qusai Zakarya in Moadamiyeh. Good evening, Qusai. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Hi, Roth.
Hi. Can you tell us a bit about the situation there at the moment?
Well, right now the regime is taking the best benefits of the starvation weapon that he have used because they managed to convince the people of the town with their conditions, with the truce, and we're having a lot of different opinions about what's going on. Some see it as a victory for the revolution because the regime wasn't able to invade the town during the 15 past months of the siege, even after he used chemical weapons on 21/8. Others see it as a victory for the regime because he managed to have their flag over the main water tank in the town. But all of us agree on one thing, that we want the best to the people of the town and for Syria as well. And we're taking it one step at a time and trying to be positive about all what's going on right now.
Is there any food coming in at the moment? Are they allowing anything in?
They're only entering small shipments of food. Until now, we have received only 3 shipments of food that contains 1 meal per person for each person in the town. It's a very small amount of food after 15 months of starvation. It's like the regime is sending us a message and sending the people of the town a message, trying to change their minds about staying behind the Syrian revolution, that the regime can feed you when he wants and make you starve when he wants, while the Syrian revolution will only get you to die from hunger or die from the shelling.
So, in other words, it's a perversion of the actual reality. Are you skeptical of the regime's intentions?
Well, there's something all the world needs to know about the Syrian regime, the Assad regime precisely, that if he had the smallest shreds of dignity and honesty, we wouldn't started this revolution since the beginning. All what happened was small kids in Daraa writing some lines on the wall that caused the brutal Syrian intelligence to have them tortured and killed. After 40 years of having the Assad regime living over our chests and stopping us from thinking straight and making us only thinking about getting a decent meal at the end of the day, this is something very expected from the regime, to have them always trying to be manipulate about this, all what's going on. They are just liars and hypocrites that cannot be trusted.
You have been subjected to personal threats yourself by the regime. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, a lot of threats come from the regime and the people who work with them. They are always going after activists all across Syria because their biggest fear and their worst enemy is activists who are working to send the truth to the world since the beginning of the revolution. And one of the strongest weapons in the Syrian revolution by the rebels was the media activists who were sending the true facts from the ground to all the world. People must know that the Assad regime in the 80s invaded Hama and killed over 50,000 people and had over 100,000 in their jails. A lot of them died under torture. But at that time, there wasn't enough communication equipment and technology to send the truth and to show the world what's really going on in Hama. The scenario of Hama was repeated again in 2011, but right now we had a lot of technology that helped us to send the truth. So that's why the regime is always going after activists to stop them from publishing the truth. But inshallah, we will keep on doing our job no matter what. They can threat as much as they can, but they won't silence the voice of the Free Syrian.
One of the pieces of propaganda that the Assad regime has consistently relied on for many years is its claim to be supportive of Palestinian freedom, to be opposing Zionism. You are Palestinian Syrian. Can you give us your perspective on this claim?
Well, like you said, one of their biggest claims that they are the number one defenders about Palestine and about the Arab rights. But this is something that we all know that they were just lying about all these years, because they had the power and the ability to get Palestine back. But eventually we have seen, and all the world have seen, that their agenda was to conquer Syria, not to get back Palestine. All the weapons, all the training, all their strategies was based and built to one goal, which is keep on ruling Syria no matter what, even if it was totally destructed by their own weapons, the weapons that we have paid for the last 45 years. They have used it against us. We can see right now what's going on as the biggest example about their lying words about Palestine, what's going on in the Yarmouk camp. Over 60 people during the past 2 months died from malnutrition. Only today they have bombed the Yarmouk camp with barrels. They had the Yarmouk camp totally under siege. And if we get back a little bit in time, since the very first beginning of the revolution, we remember Buthayna Shaban talking in the Syrian the Syrian media channels, and she said that the cause of the problem was in Daraa was the Syrian refugee camps who are working for outside agendas, and they need to have them silent. So all the world needs to know that we are just dealing with hypocrites and liars, and people cannot be trusted. They can claim whatever they can, whatever they want, but again, the sky is blue, and the sun will keep on shining. They cannot hide the truth, even if they kept on lying for another 50 years.
Another point throughout the revolution, the United Nations has continued working with the regime. But what is the general perception of the United Nations and indeed of the Friends of Syria within Moadamiyeh, from people you're talking with?
Well, this is something it's not unusual to say if I just told all the world that since the beginning of the revolution, all the world is standing behind the Syrian, the Assad regime, because starting from the United Nations and the United States and Russia and all the Western world who claims that they are standing behind the Syrian people, the United Nations did nothing more than having false speeches and empty promises to us. We have seen their lying acts and words. They have failed just to make one condemnation about the Assad regime killing over 150,000 civilians. They are just covering the bodies and the blood that the Assad regime is leaving behind. Even when the Assad regime attempted the chemical massacre in 21/8/2013, the United Nations again did nothing more than having Ban Ki-moon saying that he's worried and he's feeling bad and upset about what's going on. But on the other hand, if you see a rebel or someone who claims to be a rebel doing a bad thing, you will see all the world within minutes starting to make decisions and act and say and speak out loud about what's going on. The Syrian revolution came to expose the entire world and show the true metal of each and every person in this planet. And it made a lot of masks fall from faces that claimed for many and many years that they are standing behind democracy and freedom.
Another feature, of course, of the international community's reaction has been it's consistently represented the Syrian opposition as being composed of extremists. The revolution has been misrepresented. What's the feeling there about that, about the world's representation of the revolution?
Well, like I told you before, the Syrian revolution came to expose all the people on this planet. We have seen a lot of people hiding under the flag of the Syrian revolution and claiming that they are rebels, starting with liars and blood traders or extremists or like Daesh or another extremist groups. They are just working under the agendas of the regime to try this, to make this revolution look bad and send the message to the world that the Assad regime is fighting terrorists, not fighting free Syrians. And this is one of the biggest points that the Assad regime is building their strategy to go with Geneva, to go to Geneva and tell the world that I've been fighting terrorists. He used this lines since the very first beginning of the Syrian revolution. But again, I will say they can lie as much as they can, but they cannot hide the truth. And even I will tell these bastards that they are, which they are trying to make the rebels look bad. I'm talking about all the extremists and the mercenaries that they are hiding under the flag of this Syrian revolution, that you will be bring to question and bring to justice, just like we will bring down the Assad regime for justice.
And another point, of course, is that some people say that Daesh, or otherwise known as the Islamic State for Iraq and the Levant, is believed by many people to be working with the regime. What would you say about that?
Well, I will say that I never judge people about what they tell me about them. I only judge people about when I see them act. I saw Daesh act many times in the benefits of the Assad regime. They are fighting the FSA more than they are fighting the regime. They are working to serve the Assad regime agenda. They have made a lot of trouble for the rebels all across Syria. They sent bombed cars and attacked the FSA checkpoints. They did a lot of horrible things against the rebels. So it's only a simple calculation that can lead you to say that Daesh is working to serve the Assad regime agenda. We all know that the Assad regime has their people in Al-Qaeda. Ali Mamlouk said it very clear and very obvious when he talked about training a lot of Syrian intelligence and sending them to join Al-Qaeda to get info and make a lot of benefits for the Assad regime. I believe right now that they are playing all of their cards and they are trying to take the biggest benefit of it.
I also understand from a recent statement from the Syrian government regime that the regime is again working with British and American intelligence services in the war on terror, which, as you say, makes it apparent that this really is a worldwide plot. What would you say about that?
Well, I will say that the Western world had a golden opportunity to win the hearts of the Syrian people since the beginning of the revolution if they only stand up for what's right, which is the demands of the free Syrians asking for dignity and freedom. They have let Bashar al-Assad kill and torture the peaceful demonstrators for over 8 months, and that led a lot of officers, honorable officers in the Syrian army to descend the army and start the FSA to defend these peaceful demonstrations, and they worked so hard to have us carry weapons and defend ourselves, and eventually if we did another calculation, we will see that this is a part of the Western world to make us come to this point, while they know that there will be a lot of extremists coming from all over the world to fight in Syria, not just Sunni extremists, also Shias extremists, which is very weird that until now we haven't seen any condemnation about the Shias mercenaries coming from Iraq and Lebanon, killing and torturing and raping and doing very horrible things against the Syrian people. This is a part of their agenda to destroy Syria even more. They don't want to see a free and strong Syria in the nearby future, to keep Israel away from danger, because they know the minute we will have a free and strong Syria, we will start seriously talking about getting Palestine back.
What would you say about Iran's role? Because a few people have told us that the regime is currently importing a great many, or giving citizenship to a great many Iranian, Lebanese and Iraqi people, while denying Syrians your ID, passports, etc. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, the Assad regime is, like you said, is taking the ID cards and denying it from a lot of honorable Syrians, and in exchange he's giving this ID cards to Iranians and Shias coming from Iraq and Lebanon to try to change the demographic system of Syria, and to cover the big losses in men that the Assad regime lost during the Syrian revolution. This is something that we need to speak out very loud about it, because it will make a new disaster for the Syrian people. And I'm working along with some activists to expose this agenda for the Syrian, for the Assad regime, and inshallah he won't be able to do it.
Inshallah, we hope and pray so. So, a final question. You say that the regime is currently, there's some support there for the regime's upcoming plans for Moadamiyeh. What do you see them doing?
Well, I will say that the Assad regime is trying to make Moadamiyeh, which was the hardest number for him in the Syrian revolution in the past year, to have it as the best example of their truces. So I believe he will do their best to try to make things look good and go good in Moadamiyeh, to convince other towns to go with this the so-called truce, and also to go to Geneva with a clean record about the humanitarian crisis, and tell the world that I'm starting to work on this, because everybody knows that the international community used their magic stick and hide away the chemical massacre, just because the Assad regime started to give some of the chemical weapons to the international community to have it destroyed. There is something I need to speak about about using chemical weapons, that 3 days ago reused their chemical weapons in Daraya in a limited attack using poison gas, which led to kill over 8 civilians and dozens of exposed people. Again and finally, I will say they can lie as much as they want and do whatever they want. We have the will and we have God in our side, inshallah, and we will keep on asking for our freedom and keep on dreaming and working to have free Syria, no matter what the cost will be. We've already paid a very high price for this, and we will keep on paying this price until we have what we want, which is a free Syria.
Hope it will be soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you. As always, it's a privilege speaking to you.
You're welcome, Roth, and I give my best to all the audience of Radio Free Syria.